Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Good Hearted Podcast. Today, I want to dig into how I am trying to keep sad from totally ruining my winter and just totally consuming me. And so, if you've never heard of SAD, it is seasonal affective disorder. It can also be known as seasonal depression. Basically, just being sad because you are locked up in your house all the time. It's too cold to go outside, or you just plain don't want to go outside. And then you feel like you are just stuck in your house. You've got cabin fever, and you feel like you are wasting your life until summer comes back. And so, a lot of times, winter really gets the best of me. I become kind of a recluse during the winter. I don't like going out in the cold, especially the older I get, the less I like it. And I find myself missing things like vitamin D and just going to take a walk or going to see friends, things like that. And so this year, I really, really, really wanted to try to avoid really being affected by seasonal depression because I've gone through so many seasons of depression the last couple years already. And so I just didn't want it to get the best of me this winter. So since we are a couple months in, it's towards the middle of February right now when I'm recording this, and we had a couple nice days, and I was so ready for spring to get here. But of course, it's cold again. I live in Ohio. It is cold here all the time, like most of the year, unless it is summer and then is sweltering hot. There's no in between. And so in winters past, after the holidays, I always kind of felt like this emotional crash. It was like I was so busy shopping for everybody for Christmas, doing all the festivities, having my house decorated with Christmas decorations I love, to then have the opposite happen the next month where I wasn't getting together with friends and family. There wasn't anything to look forward to except for spring, which was months away. And so I would just find myself hating my house, hating that we lived in Ohio, feeling extremely unproductive, and then feeling lazy and I wasn't doing anything and I was a worthless person because I equate my worth to my productiveness sometimes, actually, a lot of the times. And so it was just kind of this vicious cycle where I was depriving myself of things that I love and I enjoy doing when the weather is nice, but I didn't really realize I was doing that. And then there were also things that I just physically can't do in the winter, or it makes it way harder to do, or I don't enjoy it in the winter because it's cold. So, anyway, since we're a couple months into winter now, it's mid February when I'm recording this. I feel like I've kind of gotten ahead of it. When I realized it was literally this morning, I was listening to the song Numb Little Bug, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. And this is a sound that I've heard on TikTok over and over and over again. And it's usually an exhausted mom who is doing something to this sound. It's a very emo song. It is very sad. And I saw it on TikTok this morning. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to listen to that song. And it was the first time since I've found this song that I listened to it and I didn't totally relate to it. And I almost cried. I was like, I don't want to be numb. I'm enjoying things right now. I want to keep enjoying things. And so, anyway, I feel like since I've reached that point, I can maybe give you some tips to get through the rest of the winter, especially if SAD is something that has affected you in the past or something that you're dealing with right now, because it is not fun and I hate it. It's part of it when you live somewhere cold, but still it sucks. And I feel like we can do some things to pull us up out of it at least a little bit, or bring some joy and happiness back into our life, even when we are getting cabin fever and, we're resenting our decisions about where we live and things like that. In some of the episodes that I've already done this year, I've talked about some of the things that I'm doing that are going to be on this list of kind of like activities or things that I've been doing to fight off SAD, basically. And a couple of those things have to do with your home. So I would definitely recommend going back and listening to some episodes that are related to this one. If you haven't listened to them yet, I will definitely link them in the description for you. But essentially, just taking the time to declutter your space, to freshen it up, maybe move some things around your house, rearrange your furniture. This is the perfect time to do things like that when things feel so stale, is you can just pull out all the junk that you have, get rid of it so it's not in your face every day, and then make room for the things that you really love, or bring in new things to make your space something that you really enjoy and look forward to spending your day in. So I've added things like a reading hammock to my living room, and my husband and I are working on a reading nook area around our fireplace. I also just rearranged my bedroom last week, which is the first time I've done that since we've lived in this house. And I still don't know if I love it, but it was just nice to mix it up. And I feel like those little things can just change up your day enough that it doesn't feel so routine and like it's Groundhog's Day over and over again. And so I would highly recommend decluttering and then rearranging your spaces, freshening them up with new things that you find. If you get the energy to go out and go shopping or go to a thrift store or even shop online, and just really being picky about what things you do bring into your home to make it a space that you're really going to enjoy this winter. And so in addition to that, make sure that your spaces are really cozy. So our house gets pretty chilly, and so I've got blankets everywhere. And I just want to make sure that our living room is comfortable. We've got pillows in our playroom, and I just want to be comfortable. We spend so much time here in the winter, and I don't want to be freezing. So I've got fuzzy socks, I've got slippers. I even just got myself a new fuzzy robe that was on clearance at Marshall's, and it is amazing. Dylan even steals it. Like, it is basically like wearing a blanket. And I hate getting out of the shower in the winter and being so cold. So I have a little space heater that I keep right at my shower door so that when I get out, like, I am warm. And then I get my robe on. And honestly, I'm thinking for next Christmas, I might ask for a towel warmer for Christmas, because it's like such a bougie gift and not something I would ever buy myself, I don't think. But it would be a great Christmas present. And I know I would use it all the time because, like, where our bedroom is in the house is just far from the furnace and there's some big windows. And so our room gets really cold in the winter. And so having a towel warmer or something like that, I think would be amazing. So I love heated everything. Heated blankets, little space heaters throughout the house, an electric fireplace in our living room. And so I just really like to try to make our house cozy so that it doesn't feel cold and unwelcoming. I want it to be super nice and a place that we enjoy spending the winter. And so the wintertime is also a great time to do indoor projects, whether that's some kind of art project or home decor project, or, a quilting thing that you've been wanting to do, or a home renovation. I don't know about you, but when it is spring and summer, I want to be outside every minute I can get. That is a perfect time to do yard projects or just enjoy soaking up the sun. And so I want to take advantage of the time being stuck inside doing projects so that I don't do it in the summertime, because then I like get all worried and feel anxious that I've spent so much time inside when I could have been outside enjoying the sun. And so now is just a great time to look at your house and see if there's anything that you can do now, or even just work on reorganizing things. Like, even little projects here and there will keep you busy during the winter and maybe keep you from focusing on all the things you cannot do. And then in the summer, you won't have the opposite where you're like, oh my God, my house is like totally out of control. And now I need to spend all this time deep cleaning and organizing and all of that. And I'm not being able to be outside. So just flip that. If you're the kind of person who usually does home projects in the summer and you're feeling really deflated and uninspired and things like that right now, try to do one of those projects now. It is the perfect time to do that while you're stuck inside. Okay, and I think this is the last thing I will say about your home, but for me, I love doing things in bed. Sometimes in the winter, I just want to stay in bed, and it's like a sad, depressive thing that keeps me wanting to stay in bed. But the last couple weeks, I've been really good about trying to get out of bed for a few minutes, have my cup of coffee, freshen up, whether I just wash my face, brush my teeth, or if I fully get dressed and ready for the day. And then I don't make my bed off limits for the rest of the day because honestly, my bed is so toasty warm in the morning and the living room is cold, which is like the opposite of what it is at nighttime. It's probably mainly a mental thing, but I've got like a cushion, a thing that's in my bed that I can sit up and lean back against. I've got a tray that I can put my laptop on. I've got my nightstand that has, my remote and my coffee and chapstick and lotion and like literally anything I could need. So I love sitting in my bed when I get the chance throughout the day. It's just more relaxing, more welcoming. I actually sit there for way longer and work versus coming into my office. And if my office is cold, I have to go find a blanket and then I want slippers. And I love the fact that I can just go crawl in bed, even if it's for 30 minutes, and do some work on my laptop or watch a show or whatever I want to do, and enjoy it because obviously we sleep in our beds, but it can also be a perfectly good space to work and relax. And also, I love eating in my bed. Like Dylan hates it. Sometimes he'll share my snack with me in bed, but most of the time he hates it. But I love eating in bed. I love having my laptop. I love watching a show. Like my bed in my bedroom is like my safe place, and I love it during the winter time. And so coming up with a space like that feels safe and comfortable and cozy and welcoming is so important for you to be able to revisit it several times throughout the day. As far as things to do during the winter, I am not going to tell you to go out and go hiking or go do this or go do that because that ain't me. I hate the cold. I kind of feel bad, but I didn't even go play with Harper in the snow this winter. Dylan is very good with her at those things. I hate being in the cold. But what I've done is try to come up with ways that like it's not so uncomfortable for me. And so I have snow boots, I have big thick socks that I like to wear. And even when I take the dog out, I put on these big fuzzy earmuffs, which Dylan makes fun of me for them every time I go out. I literally only use them to take the dog out, but I'm standing there for like 10 minutes. It's probably really not 10 minutes, but I feel like several minutes like waiting for him to do his business while like the wind is blowing and I'm cold and freezing. And so I just try to make sure I'm really bundled up and warm so that I don't like run back inside and I'm in a bad mood because I'm freezing cold. Like I feel like there's just no point in freezing your ass off if you don't need to. So get your gloves, get some scarves that are like nice and soft and thick, get a nice thick coat if you don't have one, beanie, earmuffs, like whatever you need to do to stay comfy and cozy when you do have to go outside. And if you are going to go do something and like spend the majority of the day outside, definitely pick up the like hot pads. I forget what they're called, but I know I used them for like football games and everything when I was in high school all the time. And I would put them in my shoes, put them in my pockets or my gloves. And those can just make those kind of excursions so much more comfortable. So if you have the money, don't deprive yourself of simple things like that to stay warm so that you don't just look back on that memory and like cuss about how cold it was. But maybe, if you are at least a little bit warmer, that won't be where your focus is and it will actually be on the good memories that you made. I also think this time of year is the perfect time to binge watch good shows if you want to. I have not watched a TV series in so long. And then a couple weeks ago, I finished the short series with Kristen Bell that's on Netflix. It was very good. I watched it in like 2 or 3 days. And honestly, I'm surprised that I did not watch it faster than that because I was like blowing through the episodes. But I don't like watching tons of TV in the summer. I would rather be outside. I'd rather be, going out and doing something or at least hanging out in our backyard. And so winter is the perfect time for me to like watch those shows without feeling guilty because I'm stuck inside. What am I supposed to do anyway? So if I get the chance to relax, a lot of times I will sit down and binge a show. And so my sister has talked me into starting to watch Euphoria. I haven't started yet, but from what I've seen on TikTok, I can only imagine what that show's about. But again, I feel like this is a perfect time to get a snack, cuddle up in bed or on the couch, turn on your space heaters or heated blankets or whatever you have, and just be able to relax and not feel guilty about not being outside because the weather's just not really enjoyable anyway, at least if you live somewhere cold. Another thing you can do is try to pick up some new hobby. So I don't really like doing lots of hobbies in the winter because I like to be able to be in the garage and like have the space to make a mess. And like right now it's too cold to like get out there and do DIY projects or anything like that. But I'm always crocheting in the winter. I feel like I'm always using yarn. In the summertime, I could care less. I don't touch my crocheting stuff for like at least 6 months out of the year until it gets cold again. And then that's like all I do during the winter. And you also know I've been reading a lot. And so January, I read so many books back to back to back. I think I read like 10 or 13 books, something insane. And I burnt myself out a little bit. And so in February, I think I've only read maybe two books, one book, two books, at least two books. But still, like compared to how far along I was on my reading list, like last month versus this month. But again, I'm not trying to like feel guilty about that. I'm just like, if I'm not in the mood to read, like it will come back. And so finding something like that to just kind of escape. A lot of people talk about reading like summary books on summer vacation, but I like reading those in the winter, like so that I can escape somewhere that is warm and nice and welcoming and not freezing cold. So those are probably the books that I will start reading soon just to kind of like get me out of the seasonal depression slump if I feel like I'm in one. Also, I think the winter is the perfect time to go get tattoos done because when you get them done, you're supposed to keep them out of the sun and, keep them covered and they're healing, like they're open wounds. And so in the wintertime, like you're wearing long sleeves most of the time. You're not getting sun exposure on those things. And so you can get your tattoos during the winter and then show them off in the summer when they're nice and healed. And so that has been something fun for me. And Dylan's actually about to go get another tattoo this Friday. But I was like, why not go in the winter and go, every couple months and get a new tattoo and then don't get any during the summer when I have to worry about them being exposed to the sun? And then I can just enjoy them and show them off in the summer months. And it also gets me out of the house. It gets me to talk to somebody, my tattoo artist, who's like not somebody who lives in my house. And then also, like, I get my tattoos in the Oregon district here in Dayton. And so then I get to go visit some of my favorite stores before or after that, get some good food. It becomes like this whole little routine. And so I think I'm definitely going to continue to do this in the future to kind of like wait if I want to get a tattoo and do it in the colder months. Because I've definitely gotten tattoos in the summer and it was like stupid. Like, why did I do that to myself? But I have lived and learned. And so, yeah, if you're craving a tattoo, go get a tattoo now, like before it gets warm. And like I said, just break up your winter, have something fun to go do. And that way you can show it off in the summer and really enjoy it. I am also already thinking about the summer months. I am thinking about what bathing suits I want. I'm shopping for summery clothes. I got on Pinterest and I made a new little like outfit inspiration board, which I do almost every year. And I don't like search for tons of outfits. I'm just like, okay, what's the vibe that I want to go for this summer? And I find that when I do that, it keeps me from just buying random things that don't really fit my style. And because sometimes like I see something on clearance and I buy it because it's cheap. Do I like it? No, not really. Am I going to wear it? Probably not. And I know that from past experience. But if I make that Pinterest board, it gets me kind of in the mood thinking about spring and summer, looking forward to summer dates or like what we are going to go do in the summer with Harper and just keeps me looking forward to something. Not that I want to rush through all the winter months, but just know that it will not last forever. And so making that little inspiration board on Pinterest is always fun for me. And then when I'm shopping either online or in person somewhere, it just gives me something to reference and like look back and be like, oh, yeah, I really do like this kind of top with these kinds of shorts. Like while I'm out, I will just keep an eye out for something like that. It doesn't have to be that same exact outfit or pieces, but just that vibe, that overall vibe versus over and over again buying things that I'm not actually going to wear. And then I feel like I've wasted my money on anyway. And so don't be afraid to get some swimsuits already or try some on in the store, just getting kind of in that summer vibe and just reminding yourself like it is winter right now, but it will be summer soon. And I will wear the hell out of these things and look and feel so cute. And speaking of that, you can also start planning your vacations for later in the year, whether they're going to be in the spring or in the fall, like just taking some time in the winter to dream about what you want to do. And then even setting some saving goals to get there, like just anything to get you out of the mindset of, I am stuck in winter. I hate where I live. Just that super heavy negative mindset. Just try to see what you can do to look forward and be optimistic about what the summer months will bring for you. And I think the last and really important thing to do every winter is to find ways to laugh. So, watch something funny, get together with friends that make you feel good and that make you laugh. Do something fun that makes you laugh, like go see a comedy show or watch the stand up series on Netflix. Like, there are so many different ways to laugh if we just seek them out. Sometimes I can go an entire week, I feel like, and not have like the good belly laugh that makes me feel so good when I do actually do that. So just trying to infuse that into my life a little bit more this winter has definitely helped me. Even earlier today, I was watching a YouTube video and I've just found a couple girls on there that I love watching and I think they're funny. And so, yeah, one of them was going on about something today and she just made me giggle. And I was like, this is what I need more of is like when things are feeling mundane and stale, just to have a little laugh here or there. And honestly, for me, going out with a couple good friends and like telling good stories always makes me feel good. And also, like watching something that is literally made to make me laugh, like going to a comedy show or watching a funny movie, um, or even listening to a podcast that's maybe educational but is also funny. Like all of those things are so good for me. And I think they would be great for you as well to just seek out those ways to make yourself laugh and just relax a little bit and enjoy this winter as much as you can. So I hope that this episode has been helpful. I hope if you are experiencing seasonal depression that you know it will not last forever. We are a couple months in and we have a couple months to go, but I promise you, you will make it. And then this summer, we will all have a great time and enjoy all of the sunshine and soak in that vitamin D. But I hope in the meantime, these little ideas just kind of get your wheels turning and find ways to fight that seasonal depression that can come so easily to a lot of us. And even if you have a bad day, that's okay. I still have bad days and bad weeks that just feel heavy and emotional and I feel that depression like trying to take hold. And so those are just the times that I try to love on myself a little bit more. And sorry, some guy just pulled in my driveway and now he's looking at me crazy because I have all of these lights on me. Well, I lost that train of thought. I'm sorry. I was too distracted by the guy coming into my driveway. But basically, I'm just trying to say if you have a bad day, don't be hard on yourself. Be patient with yourself and just know that this feeling will not last forever. It might last for a while, but just take that time to listen to your body, listen to your mind, and try to nurture it and allow yourself to come back up out of that depression and enjoy these months of the winter, even though they might be your least favorite months of the year. Don't let them go to waste in that And I don't mean that in like a productivity kind of way, but don't let yourself waste away during these months. Really try to be intentional with yourself and paying attention to your mind and your body and your emotional health and just all of those things, because it can get so out of whack in the wintertime when we are just kind of secluded and feeling isolated and lonely and cold. So please just take care of yourself this winter. And I cannot wait to, sit out back and sip some sangria with you in the summertime and put all these winter months behind us. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.